Welcome to Yin today. Let's begin down on our back. Just stamping your feet, hip width apart. Namaste. I'd like you to just contemplate for a moment all the incredible people in your life, all the incredible things in your life. In what ways are you blessed? I want you just right now to really zero in on what you're grateful for, how much you have to be grateful for in your life today. I want you to picture the people. You can have your eyes softly closed. If you're grateful for the roof over your head, your home, feel into that. And slowly just allow the knees to come together. Just make sure your feet are nice and wide apart. Just allow the knees to fall in. How much do we have to be grateful for? A few years ago, I heard a phrase. A yoga teacher, a very wonderful yoga teacher, ended her class by saying, "Service is the rent we pay for space on the planet." Service is the rent we pay for space on the planet. Today, that phrase, that quote came up as I found myself being of service. Now, being of service today could make me late in my own routine, and yet being of service was more important in the moment. And during this period that we're all experiencing on the planet right now, there's an even bigger need to be of service right now in any way, shape, or form that we are able. There are people out there struggling physically, practically, but also emotionally, spiritually. Physically, there's people starving in villages in India, all over the world, but there's people, maybe your next door neighbor is struggling internally with things that are inevitably coming up right now. Take a deep breath, just toe heel the feet together, the soles of the feet, and allow the knees to fall apart. in reclined butterfly shape. Take a breath and exhale it out. I'm hearing of a lot of tragic things happening in my neighborhood, community, online community. Because life changed for us all. The truth is, life can change at any moment for us all, regardless of quarantine times, current situations. Maybe interpersonally things can change for us, or our neighbor, or our friends in a heartbeat. So as you lay here now, I'm going to shut up, but I want you to think about ways that you can be of service to your friends, maybe to your community, maybe to your country, maybe to the world, to the environment. That may take the form of donations, that may take the form of volunteering your time, that may just be an ear to witness somebody in their suffering, their pain. Doesn't mean you have to solve their problems, you just have to hear them and witness them. So as we lay here, feeling the breath in our bellies, feeling the energy in our heart, I'm asking you, inviting you to step up. Step up. In whatever way you can. Show up. Show up for each other. Show up for everything, everyone. How could you be of service this week? Take a deep inhale, reach the hands up above the head, good morning stretch. Oh, that feels so good. Hug the knees into the chest. One at a time. Just give yourself a good squeeze. Extend the legs long. Extend the hands long. Take a deep breath in and just walk the feet over to the left. Walk the hands over to the left. So you're making, we call banana shape, banana asana. So just stretching out the whole right side of the body. Turn your head the same direction as the arms, the feet. See if you can keep that right bum cheek on the mat and just breathe. Now if your shoulders are in any kind of pain, just release the shoulder. And if not, use the other hand to extend it over a little bit more. Can you imagine what would happen to the energy in the world if more people were of service, thinking how can I help others as opposed to just how can I help myself be more comfortable, safe, secure, happy? Everything's energy. Energy is everything. Slowly, slowly release. Release the arms first. Maybe uncross the legs. Good morning, stretch all the way down the middle. Hug the knees into the chest. You can rock a little side to side if that feels good. Just to ground the lower back. Maybe extend the legs long. Bring the hands down by the sides. Just point, flex the toes a little. Hug the knees in. And find your banana shape on the other side. So reach the hands over, walk the feet, just slide your heels across until there's no more give in that outside hip, and then maybe invite that left ankle on top. Good, so that now brings some tension here, down the outside of the hip. Reach the hands overhead and across. And breathe. I believe through these times we're being invited to develop a stronger sense of community by being disengaged from our old lives. I believe we're being invited to look at new structures, creating new structures, to develop sense of community where there may have been no community beforehand, and if in some cases a stronger sense of community has been built. I'm hearing from friends in Scotland that are doing food bank runs to old people in remote places. The community sense there is very strong. We've developed community while being separate in yoga. Do you feel the benefits of that? You feel connection, love, care for each other's well-being. Care. Maybe we're invited to be a stronger community at large with things going on socio-politically right now, where it's not okay to discriminate against race, against gender, against belief systems. Like, it's just not okay. We're not standing for it anymore. And people are standing up in community and saying, this is not a way to live consciously. We are becoming and being invited to be more conscious members of a global community. So how can you be of service? Slowly, slowly, slowly release, hugging your knees back into the chest. See if you could rock all the way up into child's pose. So from our backs, now we offer our heart down to the ground. So take the knees hip width apart, big toes to touch. Allow the forehead to come down to the mat. Take a deep inhale and exhale, release. Sliding your right hand underneath the left armpit. Turn the palms up and settle back down. Deep inhale, exhale, just to open out the shoulder. Take a deep inhale, slowly release. Left arm threaded underneath. And settle. Slowly release. Coming on to all fours, curling the toes under, walking the palms forward and lowering the chest down towards the mat. And a Hattasana, puppy pose. Now you can extend the chin forward or lower the forehead down. Just make sure the hips are above the knees so it's not child's pose. We'll just take some moments here just to kind of blast and activate the heart, because being of service means you're leading with the heart. And if you're not quite sure how you can be of service, why don't you ask? You simply ask your head, how can I be of service? Starting conversation in a dialogue with your self, you deep down in there, or you way up high in there, your higher self. I make it confusing. Just ask, how can I be of service? By making yourself available, an opportunity, something will reveal itself for you to take some action. I believe everybody wants to be of service if given the opportunity to do so. And that may be a $5 donation to something that pops up on Facebook. That could be going out into the community at large. Could just be, again, listening to a friend or checking in with somebody that you suspect may be being challenged right now. Maybe a mom with kids that's trying to be superwoman. Maybe she just needs to vent. That's being of service. It doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. Just offering your time to something outside of you, your resources to something outside of you and your needs. Slowly drawing forward onto your belly. Draw the elbows underneath the shoulders, fingers flat. Release the toes and take an inhale, lift up. And exhale, chin comes into chest, into Sphinx pose. Relax the head. Also, option here to take a little deeper compression in the lower spine by maybe just lifting up out of the elbows. Draw the head down. Release the bum. Your choice. Grounding the front side of our body right now. Grounding and energizing. Everything in the front to do with things we can move into that are ahead of us. So balancing out the past with the present and the future. Slowly release. Press all the way back up onto the knees. Now this is a good time for your block, especially if you have tight knees. We're going to do hero's pose, Virasana. So I like to place a block underneath my hips. Draw the knees in front of you and bring the heels directly into the hips. Toes point directly back. Now, if you don't have a block and you don't have any knee issues, you could sit your bum right in between the feet, the heels, but keep those toes pointing back. I use a block as I had a few knee surgeries, and I'm just mindful of this knee. Now, start to draw the body back. Take the hands behind you and lower down to the degree in which you're feeling the most release. You could maybe make your way down to the elbows, nice and slowly. You could even lay your back flat. You could even take your head back to release the throat. Just find a space that works for you. I'm going to come out a little bit, as that's a little painful. We don't want pain, we just want a little discomfort is okay. Slowly release. Remove the block, draw the feet round in front of you, making a big diamond shape with the feet. Just allow the heels to come a little farther forward. Take the palms and slide them underneath the ankles, the shins. Maybe you're just here and that's okay. Just go to the point where you can't press any farther forward. Take an inhale and exhale. Relax and settle in, relaxing your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, and lastly your head. Being of service can be random acts of kindness. Without expecting any kind of recognition or affirmation, validation. You could pay for somebody's gas, you could pay somebody's toll in the road behind you, you could pay for somebody's groceries. Not at bloody Whole Foods, but maybe Trader Joe's. You could leave $10 on somebody's windshield, $5, $1. So many ways. And it could be quite a lot of fun. Slowly release, extending the legs long into wide angle butterfly. Flex your feet just to bring a little compression here in the hips. Take an inhale. Reach the spine long and exhale. Draw the hands down in front of you. Take an inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly draw the body in. Maybe this is a good time for a block. You can rest your elbows on a block. You could even maybe rest your head on a block and just let the hands go. If you haven't seen the movie Pay It Forward, rent it this week. Slowly rise. Drawing the left heel in, taking the right leg all the way behind, setting up for swan. Just make sure your left knee is behind your left wrist. Walk that back foot in, take a deep inhale, and exhale. Begin to lower down. And if this is painful on the knee, you could always take this on your back, left ankle crossed over right knee, and just draw the knees into the body. Slowly rise. Just draw the legs out in front. Take an inhale, reach up. And exhale, just fold in. Bring your hands on the shins. Take an inhale to lengthen. And exhale, just release. Into caterpillar. Slowly rise, setting up for swan on the other leg. So take that left leg behind, square off the shoulders, the hips, draw that right knee to the outside of the right wrist, then walk the back leg back and into the center of your mat. Release the toes and slowly, that's it, make sure those toes can't come any farther forward, and lower down right over the center point of your mat. Just make sure you're not kind of rolling onto one hip, because that's way too easy. Deep inhale and exhale, settle in. Slowly release, finding your way now onto your back, hugging your knees in towards the chest, extending the hands long, and just taking a spinal twist. Head comes opposite side. Release through center. Other side. Release through center. And slowly, final resting shape. a soft inhale, a soft exhale, touching fingers to thumbs as you feel back into this physical form. When you're ready, a good morning stretch. Hugging the knees in, finding your way onto your side. And when you're ready, pressing up, cross-legged, seated position. Drawing the hands over the heart, taking a deep inhale, exhale it out. Service is the rent we pay for a space on the planet. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope you feel a little calmer after that and ready for your day or night. Lots more yoga videos on my channel, so if you haven't subscribed, please press subscribe so I can build this thing and get to more people that may need a little bit of yoga in their life. Just press that red button down there. Namaste.